When you log into online customer service, if you take Realty Report and you've been set up with the new editor, you'll see a page 4 layout item in your navigation menu. If you don't see this, just give us a call or send us an email and we'll set you up. Clicking on this item will load the new layout editor into the OCS3 screen directly. There's no more need for you to log in a second time. Just a quick tour of what's going on this screen. Up at the top, we have a switch layout menu that allows you to change the style of canvas that you're working on. I'm going to be focusing on the certificate note style today. And the Save Changes button. This will save whatever work you've done in the current session and approve your layout for production. Over on the right-hand side, we have the cutoff date. So as you can see, the May 2016 cutoff is Friday, April 1st. That gives me a few days to make these changes. You can always save your changes and come back and do more. What we're going to do is we're going to take your layout on the cutoff date and send that to production. Within the editor window itself, you have a toolbar button up at the top with some items. You have a series of fields along the left-hand side. These are all the fields that are available to you within the main canvas window itself. So here we have the top heading item, which corresponds to the top heading left-hand side field. The top heading right item corresponds over here with the top heading right area on the canvas. On this particular canvas, we have a message text area, a photo, and several name and contact fields that you can edit with your own information. So the first thing I'm going to do is customize the top heading on the left, and when I click on this item, you can see it's selected in the field list. I'm just going to type my heading, so compliments of all fabrics. And I'm going to change this so it's a proper word. You can watch, as I typed, it updates what you're doing live on the canvas. I'm going to change the top heading right to, say, Market Connections Realty. Again, it live updates. If you don't like the font or the color of these things, you can modify them. Whenever you select an item and you see the drag handlers on either side, a toolbar appears at the top with some formatting features. So you can change the font, you can change the size, you can change the styling, and you can even change the color. If you don't like the changes you've made, we have undo and redo functions. Next thing I'm going to do is change the name. So you can also double click on these items to edit them directly. You don't have to go to the side. I'll put my name here, and I'll put my title underneath. And you can close these bubbles to save your changes. The last thing I'm going to do is upload a photograph for my profile image. When you click on the Add Image button, you will see your own personal gallery. There's a My Files area and a Public Files area. The My Files area show you all the things that you have uploaded in the past. In order to put in new images, you can click the Upload Files button and select something from your computer. So I'm going to choose the Danny Brown image here. The other way you can do this is you can simply drag and drop images. You can take several, say, let's 4 images here, and drag and drop them to the Upload Files button directly. That will put them in all at once, so you don't have to click and re-click and do this too many times. Okay, in order to insert the image, you notice that the Insert button is not selected. You actually have to click on an image that you want to use and click the Insert button to drop it onto the layout. Puts it in and puts it into an image window that we've scaled to the appropriate size for the layout that you're using. You can crop and move the contents of these frames just by clicking the Edit button, moving, and clicking the checkmark button. So once again, to zoom in or zoom out on an image that you've dropped in, you would choose the Edit button. You see drag handlers appear when you do this. You can resize the image proportionally by taking a drag handler from the bottom left, top right, top left, or bottom right, and choose the scaling that you want. If you use the left, right, top, or bottom handlers, it scales the picture disproportionately, so you want to be careful about that. You made that change, you don't like it, remember you've got the undo button here, that's your friend. Click the check mark to accept your changes, and we're done. The last kind of field I'm going to demonstrate today is the message text field on this particular layout, which happens to be what's known as a rich text field. So when you double click on a rich text field, you can see that you have all the same controls we had for standard text fields, but you can make inline changes to the text that you're typing. So if you take a message like, "Thanks for being my client," and you want to change the font of one of the words, you can do that. And if you want to change the color of one of the words, you can do that. And if you want to stylize individual items in different ways, you can. You can even do things like play with the spacing between letters. That's what tracking is. So if you want to shrink to fit more text in the field than would normally fit, you can do that as well. We're not going to police how good this looks. It's completely up to you. Once you're done with all your changes, the last step of the process, very important, is to save the changes that you've made and approve the layout. Once again, if you save these changes before the cutoff date and come back, let's say tomorrow, which is, again, still before the cutoff date, the changes that you make will still apply to the next issue. Any changes that you make before the cutoff date and save will go into production on the cutoff date itself. So I'm going to save these changes, and you can see that my layout has been saved and approved. Thanks very much for your time.